morning. Welcome to Satsang. I think everybody has this experience. If you want to have a moment of peace, to have a sensation of being yourself nakedly, it's really when the mind doesn't interfere. So let the mind interfere less. And when it interferes, know it. Because after all this search, all those accomplishments and findings, it is activities of the mind. Real peace doesn't depend on the mind. And it's what remains when one is not busy with the mind. When I say mind, I include the physical experiences, the emotional experiences, and the conceptualization. So, in terms of the life, it looks like it's just a moment, a free moment. Enough to remove the hypnotism with whatever the mind presents. So, thank you. So this is the space to enjoy the non-objectification space. And if you still don't enjoy, it's your birthright to ask and make the best of it. Where are you? Yeah. You take the mic, please. Sure. It will go. It will go. Oh.
Like this? Yeah. Hello. Thank you for your presence. I have a question. It's really, really connected to what you opened this Satsang. Could you speak a bit more of how to live and how to live in this transition when you, because before we practice, we identify with mind and we have the plans and wishes and ambition, and then you see something and you feel this energy flow and you're like, oh, I want to do this, and I want to do that, and then it's what you said, you become kind of hypnotized by this wish and you put all your energy to go there and you're disconnected, perhaps from something deeper within you, and then more and more practice brings this connection with, and you have more spaces during meditation. Different people have different ways. When they come in contact with this space, which is peace, and you don't need anything really extra, you're already complete. But then you still come back to the relative reality of events and things and dependencies.
I'm sorry, sir.
With me, maybe I'm too close. And then you come back to this reality of, just having the world swirling around.
Yeah, sure. So, what's the question?
How to navigate this transition, how to, because for example, when I have again something that presents itself and I'm like, I really want to take this chance, or I want to develop myself in this. It's hard for me to distinguish.
But before answering this question, I think you have really to know who you are. Because there is no formula. Everybody, when that search is solved, everybody sees, yes, the life which he brought with the birth, and that goes on by itself. Oh, there is too much. Yeah, it goes on. But maybe it's me? No. Okay. Okay. Maybe we just...
Maybe you remove your...
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Maybe we flutter with mine.
Anyway, so doesn't matter. You're here, I think. So where I was? Yeah. So all those questions fall because then you see that anyway you are not the controller of your life. It happens the way it has to happen. It was brought with your birth, and it develops in the personal life. Now, for that, of course, you need to see: am I the doer of everything? Am I a doer? Am I a seeker? Am I someone actually? And that's why this question, who am I in reality, is quite a unique question. Because it may not, the answer of it makes you see that the mind is only an expression of what's left, of what we can say you are. And so this question will not rise again, you see. Because when you speak of connection and all that, I understand that is the experience one gets with investigation and practices and meditation. But then it will always be someone who does it, who accomplishes something, who sees something new, who is experiencing something of different realms. And more the realm is deep, more it looks real, and so on. But the problem is that there is always an experiencer, and that will always, the experiencer, if it is not questioned, he will always ask a further question, a further search, how to connect all the time, how this, how that, why, but, and what about this, So that is the hypnotism with the mind. So instead of stopping at connecting with that space of peace, I would just not stop at the comment of your mind, which says, I am connecting to the peace or to a certain space bigger than me. I would not stop at that comment, because that is the hypnotism to the mind which translates in this way. So the hypnotism is not gone. So just leave whatever comes to you and see. If there is an experiencer still, then you can ask. An experience is too much? Again, because it will bring a multiplication of search, of answers, of questions. If not that clear, you can still ask. That's why you see I don't have any recipe about life. Because I don't find that the life too, it can be a big problem, but it's not a problem regarding the search of who am I, what is the God, what is the divine, what is reality, is there anything like that, and so on. Because when you solve that, it will never be through the mind. When you solve that, then the rest don't bring questions. But if you still have anything, please ask. Yeah? You have to see, you have to spot the mind, you see? You have to spot what is the mind, how it expresses itself. Then you will see what you express, what you say it's the mind will go on changing. It was not there before, it looks like it appears now, it will go away and disappear again. So that's the mind. That is creation, manifestation, duality. You see, this duality and this Advaita means non-duality. It can be a very good direction, but it's very tricky too. Because when you say Advaita, you have a concept of, and you can have an experience of, the absolute, something vaster than anything, oneness, and all that. Advaita, it's not dual. You can have the experience, oh, nothing is dual, and so on and so on. But all those experiences, they come and go. They come and go. And I think, finally, this word Advaita was to try to express that whatever the mind presents, it's the mind. And I don't know, this too impossible to describe, but not to be busy with the mind, remove this need to know, oh, it's Advaitic or not Advaitic and all that, you see. These are still very conceptual in the mind. It's when you are, whatever you experienced, at some point it can be that this need to stick to a certain experience goes. So nothing is fixed as truth or untruth. it's all the same in a way, which is, when I express it, it doesn't show anything. But just to avoid to fall in a new religion, which is Advaita. Okay? Okay, good. So if you are new to me, new coming here, please, if you came because you have a question, don't hesitate. Just ask. Yes, please. Yeah. It's coming.
Hello, Ganga. Can I have a translator?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Ja mam takie pytanie, które Zosia zaraz przetłumaczy. Kiedyś była mi bardzo bliska taka koncepcja. So I have a question about the concept that was very close to me for a long time. I to jest bardzo proste zdanie. Wszystko jest Bogiem i materia jest najwolniej widlującym Bogiem.
You translate maybe in between.
So the concept is like a very simple sentence. Everything is God, and the matter is the God of the lowest vibration. God, yes.
So everything is God. Everything is God.
Everything is God.
I have nothing to say.
That's enough. But in my mind,
No, but you talk in English, so
yes, in my mind, there is some conflict, because now I can hear that everything is God, I'm God, but it is only person, only mind, emotion, body, only person. And maybe isn't true, because person is God too. Yes?
Everything is God, you
Everything
said.
is God.
Everything is God.
Yes?
Only the mind starts to try to
try
figure it out. That is the problem. Otherwise, there is no problem.
My problem is very funny.
Is what?
Because of
very funny.
very funny problem.
No, sure.
Because when I wake up in the morning, I thought, oh, hello, Marisha, how are you today? And it is like duality.
It is like what?
Duality.
But you said everything is God.
Everything is God. Yes, it is simple question and simple answer. Thank you very much.
And who are you then?
I'm
What?
I am God, of course.
I am God. I am God.
Yes,
Yes.
everything is God. So.
And
And you can also drop what the human says. I am God, or you cannot speak differently, and just be. Because you see, any description, I am God, implies that there is something else. So,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I can totally love what you say, but I just say the risk, don't think that this is the truth. So, solved?
Yes. I suppose
Yes,
it was solved
before. You know, it's beautiful when you say I am God. It's the mind which speaks. And it cannot, let's say, just now between us, it cannot represent better. It's a representation. I am God, everything is God. A representation. And actually, a representation is like you have a painting of a rose. You would say it's a rose, but actually it's not a rose, it's a representation of a rose. But it tries to express something. Something. So I just try to tell you, you are that something, and you will express the way you express. But that's a representation. So that's why I don't want you to fix a concept. This is the truth. Yeah? And in Satsang, words are like that, you see. They represent, they try to represent, but what is expressed is not it. So I say it's a direction. It's a direction. So I would say in this search and all that about who I am, for example, it's not that you, at some point, you solve your question. It is that you don't care anymore to listen to what your mind says. And that's much more precious, because if you hold one answer, it will slip. So, know that. Just know that. Yes, please.
Yeah. What's before watching?
What's before?
Watching. Watching.
Watching. Before watching. It's before this question. That's what is. Yeah,
And how do you process the violent energies inside you?
how to process the energy?
Violent.
Violent
energies.
energy. Oh. I have no answer to how. I just have an answer before how.
Can you say it again, please?
I have no answer to how. Definitive answer I don't have. But I have an answer before the how rises. Where are you before how rises?
May I ask?
Yeah, please.
And if the practice, as you pointed it now, to tap into this space or the seat of consciousness that's deeper than duality, that's, I don't know how to put it in words, but to tap in there, I guess what comes up to me is how to practice it in daily life, because all our, I mean, I don't expect you to give like
Daily life,
recipe, but-
daily life is a flow, you see.
Mm.
This is not to be applied to a flow, to the daily life. It's just, it's not a formula for the life. I'm really sorry. I don't see any formula, and those who say there is a formula, okay, maybe a temporary formulas. I think so that those questions, which are quite essential, to be quiet about it. Not to solve them, but to be quiet about it, is to my words are not very good, but to know from where they come, where they disappear. And that you have not to practice for it, because it's there before the practice. Actually, we all go always a bit too far where it's presented. Nothing wrong, this is the personal life. But if you deal with the personal life, you have myriads, billions of questions and answers. It will not solve the fact to keep quiet. And when you keep quiet, there is absolutely no difference between Dvaita duality and Advaita non-duality. You see, for what you search, you have not to do anything, it's already there. So, today I would say like that. I think the only thing, if there is still a search or something too much, is that to see that it is the rising I taken for the base, which is the problem. It's not a problem in itself, but the problem is the interpretation we give to it. It's a rising I which brings duality, the problems. So you have just to spot when you say, I am quiet. It brings a problem because at some point I will not be quiet. And then you will search always to be quiet as you know it. Or I realize, I don't realize. I am this, I am that, you see. It's because of this I which is not questioned. So just question I. It's a rising, it's the first of the creation with all the potential of its energy. But it's the creation. So, just spot it. And if you spot what is expressed, then it happens, it will go. You will not search who you are. You have not to search who you are. You are it. Not as I, not as you. But you are it. Everybody is it. The hypnotism comes with this rising I, the birth, rising I. And it's translated as, I am this body, this mind, this and that. So, have breaks, live your life, give yourself the gift to have a break. Then, which is, of course, the wrong way to express, but I think you understand. And don't search to have a life in a certain way. Of course, human will always want a better life, but I mean in a certain way which would represent better what is. This is, I tell you, the peak of arrogance. It's already expressing itself. Don't need you. Any question? Anything? And if not, Very nice. What to say?
Maybe one more question from myself. Yeah, how many questions do you have? I'm very thankful to.
Please
I'm having many questions today and I'm very
start
thankful.
start with one.
Yeah. And to what you just said, sometimes I have difficulty to sense when whatever is rising in me is life trying to express or expressing itself through me, through events
Yeah.
and through also my action, or when it's the ego, or I don't know, something like sometimes for me it's difficult to understand how to deal with like wishes or desires or
Everybody is troubled by that.
can you, I don't know.
No, because everybody is troubled by that,
Mm.
and he will find his own solution,
Mm.
or not. And if you are too much trouble, give you a break. I told you how and where. Bon. You heard the word surrender. So it's not to surrender to something higher than you as you think. It's just surrender means you can retreat, you can not hook the mind for a moment. It's your birthright. That is surrender. You will never solve this life. You're lucky. Whenever. You don't need to be this or that or whatever. Whenever, just now, just here, you can have your break. Lucky. Enough lucky. What more do you want?
Ganga,
Yes, please.
it's very short.
Doesn't matter.
To you, is there such thing as discernment?
As
Discernment.
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 Yeah, okay. Discernment. Maybe it means what I tell you, what I tell. There's a kind of discernment. I don't know what you mean by that. Huh?
Between I and no I, just to discern what I is. Whenever I, that's is.
But does it help to know? It's little knots again. I mean, it doesn't help. Just
No, it only would help the one who would want to be right. Yeah, I know this one. No, we're just seeing as.
yeah, that's it. Who cares how it happens, you know? So it means for now there is not a single one here who has a question. It resembles Satya Yoga, you know. Very good. We had just a break in Satya Yoga. Yes, please.
I actually don't have a question, but I just feel like, because I'm this kind of person who would always have a question, and I think you experienced that already. And I just want to, was listening and I'm like, wow, I really don't have a question. And I just want to thank you, because I really feel like, yeah, before coming here I had these glimpses, but really helped me to stop the search, and I'm so grateful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big relief. Yeah.
So be grateful to the glimpse. And why you call it a glimpse? It's somewhere in the memory, or?
No, well, there were experiences. There were experiences that were. Yeah.
Where are you now? Where are you now? Okay. Okay.
Like this.
Okay. You mean that?
Yeah.
So it's never in the memory.
No.
So you see from here, it looks like we go to memory, to life, to this, to that. Sure. Till this body is alive. It will be like that. It doesn't mean that you cannot have a break. That's what I see. But the break will never be a remembrance in the memory. It's just now. That's the break. That's it, yeah.
Hi Ganga. I am there.
Where?
Yes, here or where? And it's a break.
But you see,
Yes. Yeah.
this consideration
Mm-hmm.
breaks it.
Yeah. Yes.
Break the break.
Okay, you know it now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Actually, don't stop. And my indication is a break. These are terms of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, Ganga. I also don't have a question.
Mm.
When I was here last time, you carried something in me really nicely.
I don't hear anything, but yeah, okay.
Well, I almost have to cry now, that's why. So, when I was talking to you here last time in December, you killed in me this orientation on emotions.
I killed.
Yes.
It resurrects, or
Sorry.
something resurrected?
Well, emotions are still there.
I hope so.
But the orientation emotions, my orienting on emotions, my giving emotions a too big space. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking.
Not much, I'm sorry. But maybe it's not understandable.
Also, it doesn't matter.
Okay, then it's all right. Are you fine with that?
Yes. That's all.
Last minute, the train will start.